2023 is an incredible time to be an RPG fan, and Diablo 4 having added native controller support, especially to the PC edition, is no exception. And the goal of this guide is to take you in, do a deep dive into everything you want to know about the controller for Diablo 4. If you have any questions after this video, sound off in the comments below. I'll make sure that you guys get the answers that you need, but I'm going to walk you through the entire setup, everything that you need to know about the controller for Diablo 4. And yeah, that's what this goal of this video is. If you feel like these videos earn it, like, sub, share, comment below. Those are great ways of supporting them in the algorithm. But let's go ahead and kick this off right. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name's Brian if you're new around here, but if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, you sexy beast. That's what you get for subscribing, by the way. Free compliments around the start of these videos. But let's go ahead and kick off the controller guide. I'm going to walk you through ranged and melee discussion a little bit. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about our basic interactions, our skill assignments, various different configurations that you can put to the task. This game fully supports controller right out the start. So if you just want to like jump in to create a new character, the controls are pretty simple. They're going to prompt you for what is going on. If you want to pick any different character, obviously A is to move forward, B is going to be able to move back. If you want to pull up your game menu, I guess a good place to start is here in the controls section of the settings. Now, I'm going to walk you through my settings specifically right now and why I choose to use them, but I want you to find something that works really comfortable for you. Note that whenever you're doing navigations within menus, the left bumper and right bumper, or R1 and L1, will do your main navigation, and then any sub-tab navigation will happen with the triggers, left trigger and right trigger. But let's go ahead and jump into my settings here overall. I have changed my interact basic skill slot to left trigger. This feels a little bit more natural. If you have hand dexterity issues, this will make it easier for you just to kind of hold and interact. Now, this does change that, like I said, interaction button. So picking up items, interacting with the world and other NPCs, etc., is going to focus in on the left trigger. Right trigger is going to be your core skill slot. So this is also going to act as your left and right attacks, your basic attack, and then your more specialized attack. Then I have all my skills set to the A, X, Y, and B buttons. I have my evade set to R bumper. I have town portal on the down button. I have use potion, and that is a standard actually at left bumper. Mount is still on the right D-pad. You can spur that mount with right trigger, dismount, and mount combat dismount with B and X appropriately. I have hold to lock target turned off, persistent target lock currently turned off, but to lock on target, pressing down on the R3, the right stick click action. I have used the right stick to cycle lock targets, and then action wheel is going to be up on the D-pad, respond to social requests is going to be left on the D-pad, and show item labels is going to be a L click or an L3 click on your controller. Overall system settings are all here blank, and if you guys have any additional questions or feedback, sound off on this settings alone. All right, let's put this all into action. Here I am just in a fight ready to rock and roll. I can use my different skills and my potion to fire off my different abilities. And if I need to get out of dodge, using that right bumper is going to be really critical to be able to get out of an enemy's attack. Always be sure to keep a look on your life and use your skills appropriately to be able to have the best opportunity for success. Oh, we got to get out of that one. Boom. Oh, he's immune again. And with that, with the event cleared, you can go around, pick up any items that you want, and interact with the chest as you need, and go from there. But there's more that I want to kind of break down here with this, because you can clearly see that my items are full. So let me go ahead and use my talent portal, and then we'll talk about how you interact with everything going on in the game. All right, so with combat, ideally you saw a clear picture of how those buttons are all interacting, firing off the different skills, left bumper healing, right bumper being able to use that dodge, interacting, firing, attacking. But there's some main core buttons that you're going to want to be aware of, both the start and the select button, or the hamburger button and the view button, whatever they want to call it for the new generation. So you can see here, pressing start is going to bring up your character, expertise, and abilities. We'll go over more of that here in just a second. Pressing select will give you that map, the collections, the social tab, your clan tab, and the game tab. Again, this is where you can go into options, do a couple different things. And then if there was ever any sub-select menus, that you would actually use the right trigger and left trigger to do and manage that. So on the map, one of the key aspects that you want to be aware of is pressing left on the D-pad will bring up your journal. This will allow you to set a destination or kind of a main objective of what you're working on, and you could see different things like priority quests, side quests, your main campaign, or all quests altogether. You can also hold down X to reset your dungeons. But what's also cool about this is you have the ability to press X. Let's say I wanted to go over here. I can actually press X, make a pin, and it's going to create a nice little pathway for me to follow, and I can see that on my mini map as well. As soon as you reach that destination, it will actually in fact reset. So if I go ahead and pull my map, set a pin here, and you can see here as soon as I get to my destination, it's going to let me know that I've reached that destination, and that pin will be removed. So overall, when it comes down to interacting with all of these features, you'll notice a few key aspects. A to move forward, B to move back, Y is usually like a sub-select kind of command. You can even report content on the L3 click. So just kind of pay attention to the bottom menu, as it will give you a nice little hint as to what things and what options you have available. If, like, for example, you want the center on your player, L3 as a click ends up being that, but you can zoom in and out with the right stick as well. So it gives you, honestly, these are really well thought out control schemes overall. Now on the start button, let's sit here and focus in on the character. You can obviously navigate various different items and equip various different things. Since this thing is not worth it, I could actually compare to what I have and see kind of a side by side with Y. I can hold X to do a drop, or I can just go ahead and mark something as junk if I don't necessarily want to equip it or use it, and then I can go to any kind of vendor and sell junk, or I can salvage junk, things like that. Using the right trigger and left trigger, you can see various different quest items, consumables, aspects. That's all that sub menu there. Now obviously I'm full up here on my inventory, so before I play again next weekend, note that I'm gonna have to get that cleaned up. On expertise, you can see how everything is progressing in terms of your various different weapons, and then you'll learn a new technique here at level 15. And then finally, under abilities, you can zoom out slightly with the right stick. You can refund all your skill points with X, or you can go and just click on the L3 to go to your various different skill assignments, where you'll see the different abilities and be able to move them around on the screen. So if I wanted to move this, for example, I can say assign skill, and then I can say I want to go ahead and move that maybe into, let's say, this position. Then all of a sudden now those are being able to be swapped around, so you can assign skills, move them around back and forth for your different skill action buttons. That seems to be pretty straightforward. Pressing B will return you out of that menu, and ultimately that kind of is how that all works out together. Now at this point, I want to talk to you a little bit more about ranged versus melee. When it comes to controllers, especially with the isometric action RPG, sometimes you might feel like ranged is at a disadvantage. I've been playing the sorcerer as well, or the sorceress in this case, and she does fantastic with the controller. It feels really solid when it comes to playing, more so than some of the other isometric ARPGs that I play. So I'm actually really quite impressed with that. I don't think that you need to worry if you're thinking about picking up this game on controller that you're going to be at a disadvantage because you're playing with a ranged class. And honestly, I think that's a really good sign for everything that they've put together here. You might still find some things faster to do on keyboard and mouse, but if you are playing on a PC, you will have access to your keyboard and mouse, so you can play comfortably. And then if you're ever trying to be like really fast with something, inventory management, for example, you can easily jump into that. Now, when it comes down to it, I'm actually quite impressed, again, like I said, with the ranged versus the melee and how it feels on controller. There's one other thing I want to kind of walk you through when it comes to playing this game, and it's the interactions that you have. You actually have quite a bit. You have you have 3 different pages, and you can customize these pages as well with different emotes, consumables, miscellaneous options, and social options, as well as a kind of like a hot key assignment of different things. You can always press up. Thankfully, you don't have to hold up, and then you can actually have plenty of time to set what you want. You can open your chat. You can actually move over. You can say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and say thanks. And thankfully, I don't have to hold down like the position. It will maintain itself. I can press A, and then my character will interact in that way. So you can kind of pre-build some of these things so that when you're playing on controller, you don't have to then shift back into keyboard and mouse mode to chat And I think that's really overall important. So with that being said, and on the way, if there's anything I can help answer for you or any help that you need, just let me know. I would love to be able to assist you in any way. I'm going to go ahead and wish you guys all the very best. Thank you so much for being here. If you feel these videos earn it, like, sub, share, comment, all that good YouTube stuff, as it's a great way of telling YouTube that this was a helpful video. And if not, you can always double tap that dislike button. Here reports that it hasn't been working as of late, and that's a good way of testing it out. Anyway, guys, my name is Brian. Thank you so much for taking time with me today. Hopefully you got something good from this video. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. But until then, take care.